Welcome to the future.
Voice is clown.
Not clown. Joker.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Nobody tampers with the equipment except Tony Stark.
Good idea.
United, the Avengers are strong.
Hawkeye, hands off.
Fool! Have you forgotten my invincible magnetic power?
Not this time, Magneto.
My mutant brain senses danger.
Something unseen is slowly spreading its poison, edging tempers.
Think carefully before you do this.
You filthy criminals.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What up, guys? It is the one fat guy, not the two. Nate is a bit under the weather if you haven't looked in chat. He's got a migraine that's not selling well, so he's gonna take the night off. And like everyone's saying in chat, speedy recovery. He'll be back at it. But you were stuck with me tonight. Flores, you asked if we're gonna be talking about any of the free comic book day books. I'll talk about a couple of them. Now that everyone's had a chance, or hopefully everyone's had a chance to read them, I will definitely talk about at least one or two for sure. I'm going to go ahead and get past this stuff. We can talk about that later. But yeah, no, we'll definitely talk about some of the books for sure. And maybe, anybody that picked up free comic books, let me know in the chat what you liked and what you didn't like. And, what was your favorite issue? I can tell you right now, mine was probably the Avengers free comic book, just because it was such a total jump from Jason Aaron's current Avengers run. Like we kind of got into more epicness that felt real rather than some of these previous arcs. So I did like that, I will say that. And then the whole Kadani Kate story is freaking awesome. And Ryan Otley's artwork is just so good. What up, Mike? So anyway, we'll get into it. This might be a bit of a shorter episode just because it's just me, so I'll probably just do a little bit more of a briefer episode and brief synopsis of each book that I'm going to talk about. But yeah, I'm glad everybody's here, and hopefully Nate is resting. I know he's resting, but hopefully he's not watching this because I don't need his critiques. Anyway, let's just get into it. Let's jump into it. So we always start off with our X books, and that is going to be Children of the Atom number 6. Flores, hold on. Avengers was the best one for me. Second was Spider-Man and Venom was good too. I'm really excited about Al Ewing and Ram V. Their Venom run, I think, is going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be different, obviously. Obviously, it's not Donny Cates, so it's just going to be different. But I like the direction it's going. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, kind of going into space and seeing what's going to happen to Brock. I think Brock is going to... Obviously, it's foreshadowed that he might bite the bullet. We'll have to wait and see. But, I'm excited for that. And then Spider-Man looks like a lot of fun, too. I was frustrated, though, that they just nonchalantly threw away... I forget his name. The new Spider-Man. Oh, my gosh. I'm totally blanking. His uniform, his old uniform, they just threw it away. That pisses me off a little bit. What is his name? I'm gonna have to look. It's sitting right here. I cannot remember his name. Yeah, Riley. I'm sorry, Ben Riley. How they just threw away his costume. Nobody likes this. It's bull crap. Everybody likes that costume. At least I do, anyway. Anyway, what was the whole fist thing at the end, though? Oh, confused. So that for sure, that's definitely. It's in Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil run. It looks like Fisk is just gonna go straight up insane. I'm assuming he's gonna lose Typhoid Mary, and he's just gonna start killing everybody. That's what it looked like to me. That wasn't. I get why you say they're confused on that, because they just kind of threw it in there and they gave no explanation. They weren't like it. And here's a snippet from Daredevil. So that was a little weird, but I did like it, and it's got me super excited for the rest of Daredevil. I'm assuming we're probably getting really close to the wrap up of Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil, but you never know. I think we're on issue 33 now, so maybe he pushes it to 50. I don't know, but that little snippet in there was great. Anyway, Surely Adam number 6. This will be quick. This is going to be more of a critique of the overall series rather than this book specifically. I will say this book did a really good job of flushing out what the kids were trying to do in this book, which is fine. Basically, one of them is a mutant. The other 4 are not. They're playing dress up, and that's actually addressed in the book. It's they come to terms with the fact that what they did was probably not the coolest thing to do, like the best thing to do. It was actually kind of jacked up to do what they did, which was or role play as mutants, especially in that day of age, what they're doing. But what I did not like with this overall series, I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed reading the book. I thought the book was a lot of fun to read. I think the artwork in it was great. But the problem I have with this book, or overall series, is this book was it was marketed before it came out that these were going to be mutant sidekicks to the original X-Men, right? That was the marketing ploy. And that whole storyline got thrown out the window via issue 1. And then it just never came back. Now, I've got my theories about it. I wish Nate was here to talk about it, but I kind of feel like that might have actually been the case, and then things got switched up. But that's just me speculating. But overall, I feel like I wish that Vita Ayala and Marvel and the X Office had been a little bit more upfront with what this book was going to be. I get it. I get the marketing ploy about it. You're trying to get more and more people to buy it. So obviously that first little, pitch is obviously going to sell everybody on the book, but it's very disingenuous and very dishonest. So the series ending here at 6, there were a lot of plot points that never came back or never turned the corner to come back to the end of the finale, which I'm really disappointed in. I mean, a couple issues, like issue 3, we see them in like a flashback where they're on a spaceship, and that never gets resolved. Like, it crash lands on Earth. What's that about? The whole mutant sidekick thing never really gets talked about either. Overall, I think the execution of this book was very messy, and I feel bad about that because I really like Vita Ayala's writing. I think they do a really good job. I think they're awesome at what they do and their writing, and I love the rest of all the other works that I'm reading from them. But overall, I think this was a big miss, and I don't say that to take a dig or to be on being edgy and saying that. I just feel like it could have been presented better. I think it was just not marketed properly, and I know this is geared more to younger readers, and that's fine. There was nothing wrong with that. Like, the way it read, the tone and the voice of the book, I thought was fine. It was just the way it was presented to everyone just kind of makes me go like, man, I gotta think twice about when I pick up books. Like, I might have to do 1, and if I'm not just vibing on 1 and 2, I think I'm gonna jump ship real quick. I mean, I did that with X-Corp. I am done with that book. I couldn't do it. And I think we get a new issue this week. I think Nate's picking it up, but I am not. Like, I kind of learned my lesson there, so like X-Corp is out. But overall, Children of the Atom I think could have been done a lot better, but I don't know. It didn't hit the mark for me, unfortunately. And then the other problem I have with this issue specifically is that it's a month and a half behind the Hellfire Gala, and there are Hellfire Gala events that happen in this book. And it's just like, well, that's over. Like, we're getting ready for Trial of Magneto and Inferno. So the book just didn't fit in the reading order, even like within like a weekly or monthly release. Like, this book was all over the place, and I feel bad about it because I want to support all the X books. I want to support the X Office. I want to support Marvel. I know I'm new to the game. I don't have as much skins on the wall when it comes to buying books from Marvel, so I haven't been burned as much as some people have. But I want to try to give books a chance. And I was really excited about this title, And now that it's over, I'm like, man, that sucks. I'm a bit disappointed about it. But overall, am I upset that I picked it up all the way? No, but I wish it was better. I wish that it was marketed better, and I wish that it ended with not so many plot holes just kind of hanging and not being resolved. Getting to chat, Pay says, I think the kicks have really taken a backseat over the past few years, and I'd like to see new ones as good as Bucky or Robin. Yeah, for sure. It's really dumb that they just made them tokenized versions of the original X-Men characters. They weren't even mutants. Exactly, like, they weren't, and I think that should have been really the red flag for issue 1. And I think if you watch our previous review of that first book, like, I think I even said that. I was like, I don't think they're mutants. I think they're wearing tech that is generating powers. So anyway, yeah, that's that, Patty. I think it's weird that it made sidekicks for the X-Men. Why do the X-Men need sidekicks? That's a good question. And then Maddie, he's in the house. That's our coworker. He is a ding dong. Anyway, so that's Children of the Atom. I could go deeper into it, but it's just not. I don't know when, if ever, we're gonna see these characters again. We probably will. At least the one mutant for sure in the next book, but I don't know if we're going to see the other 4 because they continue to they continue to talk about like being a team, but I would assume that they're not going to masquerade as mutants anymore. They're going to, maybe we'll get a refresh on those characters, and not presenting themselves as mutants and using tech to fight crime. But then if they do that, they're humans, so they're under that Kamala's law that was established in Outlaws, right? Outlaw? No, is it? I can't remember what that. Champions. Either way, we'll see what happens. Again, the writing was good. I thought the writing was really good. I just feel like this whole series in general just kind of fell flat. So, Patty, always kind of already have almost psychics being students and New Mutants, but I'm not sure. Maybe they didn't make them sidekicks, tried to make them their own team. I mean, that's kind of what the New Mutants are, right? Like, they're the younger versions of the X-Men. So, I don't know. Anyway, let's jump into X-Force 22 from Benjamin Percy. This was a really good issue. I still feel like X-Force is kind of off the rails at the moment in the sense that, we haven't really established... I feel like we haven't established a new direction after the gala. Just because this whole Terra Verde thing, I'm okay. We get this new version of Man-Thing called, I think it's called Manslaughter, which is pretty cool. And it's been invited to Krakoa, which is neat. We get an appearance or... I forget the name of the group, but there's a human group that's trying to take over or mess with the mutants underground. They're drug trafficking and all that jack. Oh, what was the name of that character? I can't remember. Xeno. So Xeno is manipulating a scientist who built this manslaughter guy, and that's the gist of the issue, is that they're still trying to jack with the mutants. But it really felt like issue 21 and 22 were like filler arc. Like, Wolverine, the newest Wolverine that was like 2 weeks ago, it felt like we were restarting the storyline, or we were just getting into a new arc that was going to be very epic and following new characters, which is really great. In 21 and 22 of X-Force, it just felt kind of flat. Like, it just didn't feels like we're still trying to get over the Hellfire Gala, to be honest. So, it wasn't a bad issue. It was kind of gray. But, again, Percy's Wolverine book and X-Force are pretty seamless in how they kind of coincide with one another. And I felt like that too. It felt like Wolverine was in this issue more than he should have been, which sounds really weird to say, but when you have your own ongoing book, maybe you're not the main character in X-Force. I think you need to kind of spread the love amongst different characters. That being said, Beast yet again shows his cruelty in this book, and I mean, we know the Hammer's coming at some point. And one of I think it's issue 25 or 6. it feels like he might face his judgment. And we see some of that cruelty in this issue too. Like he interrogates manslaughter and like cuts his fingers off to see if they'll grow back. And everybody in the room's just like, dude, what is your deal? Stop jacking around. But the Terra Verde Xeno partial problem is fixed in this issue, in the sense that Xeno, you know, what they were trying to do over this whole issue just kind of gets foiled, which is fine. But the Terra Verde thing, I think, is finally, I would assume, put to rest, but we'll have to wait and see. It just didn't feel... it's just the issue 21 and 22 felt very flat. Whereas most of the X-Force issues have been really great. They've been high-paced and intense. I don't think we got our original artist on this one too. I think that might also be another reason why the book just feels kind of flat. I think the artwork really carries X-Force when it first started. I know the main artist did the cover, but I'm just waiting for them to come back because nothing against Gil. Great work, but it just doesn't feel complete right now. So I'm waiting for Percy and I can't remember the name of the main artist. I'm ready for them to get back, you know, to being on the same page and being on the same issue because I think it'll flow quite nicely. But X-Force overall was good. Xeno's plot gets thwarted. Terra Verde, I think, is going to be put in a box for a little bit, and we'll get back to them at some point. And I'm just looking forward to issue 23 where we'll finally start hopefully a longer arc that has a little bit more significance rather than just kind of popping these 2-issue arcs. So we'll have to wait and see. But into Daredevil. This was a fantastic issue. This was almost my pick of the week. Chichetto was back on the artwork. Thought it was great. We find out that Bullseye has been cloned. So that's why there's multiple Bullseyes running around town and tallying up a massive body count. So that was pretty cool. Or not pretty cool, but it's a cool idea. But we find out that, yes, Bullseye has been mass produced. He's been cloned. And that's, you know, he's gone haywire, essentially. And so all the clones have broken out and they're just wreaking havoc on the city. And Elektra's, or Daredevil, who's Elektra, finds this out. She's able to, you know, hold her own, if you want to say that, pretty well against 3 Bullseye clones. But at some point, they overtake her. You know, she gets shot, I think, a couple times. And, yeah, it was intense. And Patty says cover of the week. I believe this is my cover of the week. I freaking love this cover. But yeah, so there's that story arc. She gets saved by Spider-Man and Tony Stark, and we get left kind of hanging with the Elektra Daredevil storyline in this book. She basically gets healed by Tony via like nanobots, and then she asks Tony to basically build her a suit of armor or something to that effect. Tony's going to do something for her. So we get that, you know, that storyline taken care of. And then I think the Daredevil, like actual Daredevil story in prison, Daredevil is basically taking over the jail that he's in. He's running a riot right now. And so it's a little weird because he looks like he's completely out of character. But I know that before this issue, he got recruited by either the FBI or some kind of internal investigation group about the jail and seeing why like prisoners were dying in there, and if he helps them out, they're gonna let him out early. Blah blah blah. So this issue, we find out that he's basically run a riot in the jail, and we don't actually see Daredevil until the very last page of what he's done. He's got like this massive throne built of just waste from the jail, just like, you know, trash and stuff. He's like sitting on this throne, and they're sending in the original investigator or cop that he meets in the first arc of Zdarsky's run, and I haven't read all of those yet, so I wasn't quite familiar with him. But he is now taking over the jail, and it's, you know, we're going to see where that goes. So there's like all hell is breaking loose via cover. And yeah, it was a really good issue. It was almost my pick of the week. It was very close, but there was another book that was just way better. So anyway, very good. You know, Zdarsky is still on point here. You know, I do hope he goes to 50 issues. That would be great, as long as he doesn't run into an Al Ewing problem and tries to stretch out this this run to the point where you're like, man, probably should have ended at 45, or 40. But still, I am so glad that I started reading this. I think it's fantastic. When Checchetto is on it, it's money. When he's not, I think the book overall suffers. And I get that. Artists need breaks. Makes total sense to me. But when the impact of every issue, you can feel it when Checchetto's not on there. Zdarsky is doing great. His writing is always, it seems flawless in Daredevil. So, I liked it a lot. It is the cover of the week for me, but it is not my pick of the week. But I cannot wait for the next issue. It's going to be great. Jane says, I'd love to see Daredevil be the head guy of the prison in the next issue. Yeah, it's about to go down for sure. Until DC offers Batman. Dude, Mike, don't even get me started. I think that would be a fantastic idea, to be honest. Like, I want him to finish his Daredevil run, but a Chip Zdarsky Batman? Come on now. Come on. All right, next up we've got Defenders from Al Ewing. This again was almost my pick of the week, but this book is confusing as hell. I need some clarity. I definitely need Nathan's perspective on this book because I don't quite understand what's going on in the book. We see the origins of Korvac in this book, which I thought was pretty cool. And then we have Doctor Strange. There's some kind of threat. There's some kind of cosmic universal threat. And so Strange sees this, and he decides to put together a team, a Defenders, if you will. And he lets magic decide who the team should be. And he uses tarot cards, and he summons the Silver Surfer. He summons the Red Harpy. I don't know who the Gas character is. I'm not sure if it's a new character or if it's a character that has been reimagined, but he brings that being into existence in this book. Let me see if it's in here because I want to be right on that. No, I don't remember her name. Either way, he's putting this group together to fight off some kind of cosmic magical disturbance. And I'd say 85% of the book is the process of him putting this team together and using tarot cards to summon everyone into his reality, which I thought was really cool. And you get a sense that Strange doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Like he just he's totally like loosey-goosey in this issue, and even summoning everybody. So that I thought that was kind of neat. The artwork in it is fantastic. It's very colorful and abstract, and overall a good time. I mean, I took on our Instagram. I put a panel. Like a random panel in here that I thought was really cool. But the group gets put together and then they're taken to, I think it's Ta or wherever Galactus is from, and they have to fight. I feel like there's some multiverse stuff going on in this book, and so I think they're about to fight a different version of Galactus, and the last panel of the book is insane. But let's see, there we go. Pretty intense. But overall, the book is good. I need some clarity on it. I think there's things that I'm missing because I'm just not as in tune with my Marvel history. But I'm glad I'm picking it up. It's a 6-issue mini, so it's not like there's a massive investment going on in this book, but it's really good. I think it's a fun little series, and it doesn't. I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't feel like Al Ewing's first arc of Guardians, which I'm really happy with. I always, every time a new Ewing book comes out, I get a little hesitant because that Guardians of the Galaxy first arc with the Olympus gods was just not. It wasn't there. So. Pleasantly surprised with this book, and this was almost my pick of the week, except for the fact that there's just so many things that I don't quite understand. I need an outside perspective, and so that's where I feel like Nate would really shine on this book and tell me more about it. And then maybe if he can convince me that it would be my pick of the week, then it probably would have. But that's not it. Kuku says Defender seems to be turning into some of Al Ewing's Ultimates run, so I think that would probably help. It also it's really good in general. No, I agree. I think it's a really fun book. I think I wasn't bored, if that makes any sense. Like, I didn't know what certain things were going on in the book, but I wasn't bored, and it kept my attention, and it kept me going like, well, I want to know more, what's really going on. And again, the artwork, the coloring in this book was so good. Like, it was just very vibrant, which I can really appreciate. So, all right, Captain Marvel. I'll be quick on this one. Basically, on the Kree Skrull world, they have this laboratory that has the DNA of all of their soldiers from the past, and some scientists jacked up, and they've been like dumping their experiments, the DNA that they don't want to use, down a drain, and it's created like this toxic Kree Skrull sludge. And so Captain Marvel and her sister L'Oreal are brought to the city to find out if the sludge is dangerous, and when they get to it, the sludge like turns into the original Captain Marvel and is looking like it's trying to attack them. So the other bit that, the main reason why they're brought over is because their mother's DNA has also been used in this experiment. So they're just trying to make sure, they're trying to clean house. And they confront it, it tries to attack them, they blow it up, and then, they think they've eradicated it, or they feel like they've done an adequate job, so they try to go back to the surface to kind of tell the lab, like, hey, don't drop all your excess experiments down the drain. And while they do that, you cut back and the sludge is still kind of alive, and there's someone mysterious basically saying, like, look, great job, sludge, you have completed your mission. So someone is acting nefarious in Captain Marvel. I thought it was good. I'm interested to see where it goes. I've been enjoying Captain Marvel. I think Thompson's doing a great job on it. I know it's not everybody's favorite character, but I feel like it reads well. And this issue was no exception to the fact that it was decent. It was good. I like seeing L'Oreal back in the issues again. I want a book to kind of have her as a regular. I think she's a great character. And it's good to see Rhodes and Danvers back together. After I guess like a 6-issue break. They're finally back together, and we get some fun. They try to go on a vacation at the beginning of the issue, and they get mobbed by fans, and it's just kind of funny the fact that they used a plane rather than like Danvers flying them to wherever they wanted to go, and they make a lot of jokes about that in the book. But overall, I'm excited to see where it goes. I know we're about to get more Captain Marvels of past in this book, and I'll be interested to see how they're introduced, if they're going to be the legit thing, or if they're going to be this sludge DNA monster that's going to replicate more versions of Captain Marvel. But we'll have to wait and see. But I'm nowhere, this book is not on my you need to impress me or you're off my pull list radar at all. I'm still enjoying it, still glad I'm picking it up. So all right, then we got American Chavez number 5, and this is the last issue in this series. Me and Native said it before. This book is probably the surprise of 2021 for us. It just came out of nowhere, and kind of picked it up on a whim, and it's been great ever since. This book does a really good job of kind of wrapping up this little mini series. I will say though, it did feel a little rushed when we got to the conclusion. Like the last 3 pages, I was like, wait, what? But overall, I can say that American Chavez, made in USA, has been fantastic. I don't know. I need to find out the original origin of American Chavez, so I can kind of compare the two. But I feel like the retcon is pretty good. Kind of just changing up slightly her origin stories and about her moms, and now that she's got a sister and all that jazz. But overall, the series has been fantastic. She still is losing her powers by the end of it. She's still not full force American Chavez, so they're going to have to resolve that probably in another mini, which they kind of allude to at the end of this book. But overall, again, like I said, this book has been fantastic. The artwork has been great in it. This cover, meh. But that's probably the only negative thing I could probably say about this specific issue and series, is that this cover's okay. It's meh. But, basically, she's able to save all the girls that were going to be experimented on by her sister. She's able to save her brother in this issue. She loses her sister, who trips into a multiverse teleporter thing, so there's a big mystery there. But then she gets back to her family, and she gets back to her roots, and realizes she's neglected her family, and she wants to, reconnect. And then again, she's not full force America Chavez. Her powers are still waning. She's still losing control of them. So we'll have to wait and see if we, I'm almost positive we will get another miniseries, or she'll be part of another book that will resolve that, or maybe not. I don't know. But overall, all 5 issues have been really good. Very surprised with this. Was not planning on picking this up, and I'm glad I did, because it was really fun. All right, talk about a book I had no plans on picking up, and I actually really liked. Tech on Avengers. This series has clearly been made to sell action figures in Japan and the US, and I'm totally okay with it. But the premise essentially is after the Avengers defeat Thanos and destroy the stones, the Infinity Gems, or whatever you want to call them, stones, gems, somehow Red Skull is able to get a hold of them, but he's able to get a hold of shards of them, so he's able to build a infinity wrestling belt, if you will, a championship belt, and put the stones in there and wield them. And so he shows up to Earth, 2-3 days after they defeated Thanos, and he rocks the entire Earth's world by basically saying any superhero on the planet will lose their powers. And he pulls a House of M, if you will, and just says no more powers. So, no more Captain America being super strong. Wolverine no longer has his healing factor, which is pretty intense, and he's the what is it called? The metal in his body is actually killing him, so they have to put him in a stasis pod, which is pretty intense. Carol Danvers is no longer super strong and fly and absorb energy. Everybody loses their powers. So obviously the only person within the group, did you pick up Momoko's variant Tech-On? No, and I wish I had. So I'm definitely going to the store this week and picking that up, because I saw her second issue cover with Iron Man. Yeah, I will be picking them up. If they're there, I'm getting them for sure. The fact that they're not ratios makes it really easy to go pick those up. Anyway, basically what we find out is Red Skull is OP now. No one can touch him. And the way to resolve all of this is basically Tony Stark builds armor for every single Avenger. So Black Panther's got an Iron Man suit. Wolverine does. Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Captain America, everybody. And they look fucking cool. Overall, again, wasn't planning on picking this up. And I was like, I'll give it a shot. I'm really glad I did. I thought the artwork was really good. It's very manga-esque, which I like. And there is color to it, so one step above that. And dude, it has been fantastic. I'm so glad I picked this up. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a mini anyway, so it's not like you're investing into a long run. I think it's 5 or 6 issues. It's good. I recommend it. I think if you like just good old-fashioned Avengers fun, this is definitely a book for you. That just is kind of like this Elseworld story. And then I've seen the action figures that they're releasing, and they are sick. So definitely go check this out. You get an Iron Man suit. You get an Iron Man suit. You get an Iron Man suit. Yeah, everybody gets an Iron Man suit, and the designs of each suit look awesome. So you just can't go wrong with that. I think it's a fun. It's just a fun idea, and I'm glad they're doing it. I think I'll be absolutely honest. I didn't read the Avengers Mech series, but that felt a little Power Rangery, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like this is a little bit. I think this is cooler, to be honest. I'm just saying right now. All right, this Spider-Man Shadow issue 5, the last issue, is my pick of the week.
That's Jim's pick of the week.
This book was fantastic. I just wasn't expecting it, and I thought, I feel like the first issue was good, but the 5th issue just really brought everything together, and I think that's great. So again, Zdarsky on his A game. I love this idea of what ifs issues being longer, not one issue, but 5 issues, 6 issues, just a 6-issue mini. I think that's a fantastic idea because it really allows the writer, whoever it is, to really expand on the story and flush it out. It doesn't feel rushed and it feels really good. So essentially what we get in this issue is Peter trying to figure out a way to save everybody, as Spider-Man does, and not lose anybody. And he cannot accomplish that in this issue. He's trying to get the symbiote to basically do a bait and switch and come back to him. And he's not able to pull it off in the sense that someone does die in this issue. I don't want to give it away. Don't want to give away who dies, but someone does die in this book, and it's really sad. And when it happened, I was like, oh shit, you just did that. Like, you literally, you did that. And we get a couple big reveals, and then we also get like another just kind of we get a what do you want to say? You get there's going to be more. I think there's going to be more. I don't know if Chip Zdarsky's going to be writing it, but there's definitely going to be more, I think, of the Spider Shadow, so maybe he will. But overall, this issue was really good. It definitely, issue 4 definitely had King in Black vibes without having the King in Black in the book, so it kind of felt kind of identical in that sense. And I feel like issue 5 got us out of that, which I was happy about because I was going to be really sad if we were going to continue down that route. But yeah, dude, this book is really good. I think it did a good job of ending and then leaving, that potential sequel. It's just a fun idea. I think it's great that they're gonna, especially with What If, the show coming out right now, like the fact that that's out and then you can have a What If series. I really hope this continues. I hope in November, when Marvel November solicitations come out, we get another What If series. Hopefully by somebody else. I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't mind reading another Chip Zdarsky What If, like a continuation of Spider Shadow, but I would like to see an Al Ewing or a Ram V or somebody, even a Hickman, write another What If story. Maybe not necessarily Spider-Man, but just to go down the road. I mean, there's so many What If stories that they can expand on or make up. And the possibilities are endless, and I think it's great. I think the artwork in this was great. This Phil Noto cover, awesome. It was a good issue. I'm glad. And Mike, you said you're thinking about picking it up in trade. I highly recommend. I hear Chip is doing more What Ifs. What If is? I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm down. Again, I think Zdarsky. He's up there. I think he's probably in the top 5 of Marvel writers right now. And this book is great. I would highly recommend picking up the trade if that's your thing. And if you want to look for the singles, you can too. But this is a great book. I think it concluded very well. And I don't want to give anything away. Just know that it was so good that it was my...
That's Chips. Pick of the week.
It was my pick of the week. It's fun. It's really good. All right, we're going to jump into Star Wars. I'm going to be quick on this one, too. This felt like this, there's a lot of build up to this issue 8, but man, does this feel like what High Republic was supposed to be, rather than where we started. I felt like we started with really small baby steps, and then we really took off in this issue. The Dren Gear are still an issue in this book. Fine. But we finally see some weight being pulled by the Nile, which, when this series was announced, we were like, the Nile, they're going to be the bad guys. They're the super bads, right? They're the worst of the worst when it comes to this series. And I remember Nate saying that, like, in the novel, that's true. In the comic, it's still, it remains to be seen. And we finally get that in this book. And it's really the big reveal at the end that they've kind of sacked a planet that was, very highly influenced by the Republic and the Jedi. So we're finally kind of jumping into the Nile being a major player in the High Republic main comic book, which I'm super excited about. And we get some really cool, like, Jedi. We get a lot of action in this book, which I think was really good. I think we've had a lot of deposition for the past couple issues, which is not a bad thing, but I was ready for some lightsaber swinging, and we definitely get that in this issue. We get a rally in this issue. We get a rally call for all the Jedi to fight as one, which I think is really neat. We just get a lot of identity in this book, which I'm really excited about. Because, I mean, High Republic is not near, the edge of, like, dropping off my pull list, but it was kind of middle of the pack, and I felt like if this issue hadn't performed, it might have started that trend of, like, potentially thinking about dropping it. So, overall, a lot of Jedi action, a lot of dead Dringir, or however you call it. And then again, the big reveal at the end that the Nile are coming, that they have made their position known in the comic book, is really exciting for me, because like I'm ready for that. I'm ready to see a non-Muppet baby villain, and I want to see like a group of just. I mean, obviously, I want to see the Sith. I don't think we're going to see that in this. Nate's been very, very, just upfront with the fact that we're probably not going to see a Sith in this book for a while, if ever. So I want to see the Nile like take charge and be the main baddies in this book. So it looks like we're moving in that direction fairly quickly, and issue 8 does that, which is really nice. All right, we're going to jump into our DCs. We've got Detective Comics 1041. I really liked this issue. I was a little worried because I knew that Vile was coming back, and I wasn't really the biggest fan of the Vile storyline, but it worked in this issue. We got the jury now that's consisting of Worth and the Penguin and other mobsters within Gotham who are trying to basically kill Batman and Bruce, if only they knew. And so we get Batman confronting that group, and then we get Batman getting infected by Vile. And that's this issue in a nutshell. And it flowed really well. Tamaki did a great job in writing. Mora is on point with the artwork. I just like him as the artist of this book. I think it does the same thing as Giacchetto. Like, it just makes the book feel that more genuine. And it was good. There's a lot of good action in it. There's a lot of good... we see Batman in a gray and blue suit because he has lost all of his equipment, so he had to go find like a stash that he hid a while ago. So he's in like this classic Batman suit, and it gets called out multiple times in the book, which I think is great. Overall, it was a fun issue. I am glad that Moore is back. I don't know how long he's going to be on the book, but either way, I'm excited for it, and it made me like, and I say this very conservatively in the sense that I like the direction we're going with Vile now, but we'll have to wait and see. Patty says that the classic suit looked great. No, it looked really good. I thought it was really fun to see it, and I like Penguin calling out Batman and be like, "Oh, we're in blue, I see." Like I liked the kind of chipper back and forth between Penguin and Batman on the suit. So, and also I really like this cover. I think it's great. All right, after that we've got the Joker. I don't know. It was good. It wasn't good. It was okay. I feel like this series is starting to lose its edge a little bit, and I don't know if that's a byproduct of Tinian just kind of getting burnt out a little bit. Obviously we know he's leaving. And maybe this is coming from a novice reader's point of view, and I just felt like it just didn't feel like the first 4 issues. I will say Joker has Gordon wrapped around his finger still, and we get that in the end of this issue where Gordon is following the Joker into France, and he's trying to get his leads, he's trying to figure out where he's at, and then he gets caught by Interpol. And so that's how the issue kind of ends, and we see the Joker, basically the person that set him up. So it was okay. We got more history on Gordon, which every issue we do, we get more family history, which is fine. But I don't know. I just feel like the pacing in this book is kind of slowed down a little bit, and I'm ready for it to. There was no oh shit factor in this book. Let's say that. In a majority of Tinian's books, there's always an oh shit for me in this book. Like, you're just completely caught off guard, super surprised. And this issue just felt kind of fillery, which I don't say very often with Tinian's books, or at least the ones that I'm reading from. So we'll see what happens. Joker's clearly playing with Gordon. We'll see if Gordon can get the upper hand on him. But overall, Joker was okay. It was okay. Infinite Frontier. All right, so issue 3, I did have a little bit of I wouldn't say problem with it, but it just didn't feel novice DC reader friendly. And this issue definitely still had that feeling. Like there were things in the book that I was like, yeah, I don't know what that is. But then there were other concepts that have been set up that I'm like, dope, awesome, cool. I like it, and I see where we're going. I know that it was just announced that the Justice Incarnate, or I don't remember the name of the group, is getting their own book in November or October or November. I don't remember. So we're going to see more of like President Superman and Thomas Wayne and that whole group that's this multiverse Justice League, which is cool. I'm excited about that, but I'm really interested and hoping to see a event come out of this Infinite Frontier book. I want to be part of a Infinite Crisis event. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Death Metal events were fun and they're good, but I'm ready for this really big, like they're playing it up in this Infinite Frontier for sure. Like, get ready, it's coming. And I hope it happens. What's up, Professor? I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Sorry, Nate's not here. He's not feeling too well, so I'm flying solo tonight. But overall, I liked this book. I felt like the pacing of it and I don't want to say dumbed down, but it felt like it was easier to read than issue 3. Excuse me. Issue 3 felt very like you needed to know a lot of shit to understand it. QQ Justice Incarnate seems like a cool villain team, especially because they have a point. The multiverse does cause way more problems than it solves, especially if you aren't on Earth Prime. Good point. Yeah, I like it, man. I'm digging it. I really like this book. I felt like 3 again kind of dipped, and 4 just kind of got us right back up, and I'm really digging it. So, looking forward to seeing more, and I'm probably gonna pick up that it's the Injustice that shows up at the end of this book, but then there's a new series that's been announced. I think it's this team specifically that's coming out in November, which I'll probably pick up issue 1 and see if I really enjoy it or not. But overall, I like it. Really waiting. I'm waiting to see what Darkseid's gonna do. He's building up this team with the Black Lanterns and Psycho Pirate, and I dig it, man. I'm digging it. I think issue 4 definitely rebounded from issue 3, so can't wait for issue 5 and 6. Justice League Last Ride. This was another close, almost pick of the week for me. I had a lot of good time. I like this. Again, it's another Zdarsky book. This episode is very Chip Zdarsky heavy. We get I gotta do a little bit of a refresher, but we get a little throwback to why the Justice League is on their last ride in this issue, which I thought was really cool. We see what ended up killing the Martian Manhunter, John. Basically, he sacrifices himself in a previous mission, and so that's what's got the group all, what Batman and Superman are so pissed off about it with each other. And then we jump back to the present, which is, they're hiding Lobo. They're getting attacked by, I think I don't remember who they're being attacked by, but it's, the big reveal in here is Mongol, who I don't know who that is, is trying to go. Oh, that's right. They're trying to get Lobo, and they're fighting off Mongol, which I think is the ruler of War Planet, right? Or something like that. So that's, most of them are fighting off that invasion. But what I like is Lobo basically telling them that they're in for a world of hurt and they have no idea who's coming after them next. And the big reveal at the end is that Cyborg Superman has shown up with an army of manhunters from the Green Lantern Corps. And so now they got to face that. And I was like when he popped up, I was like, hell yes. Like, I don't know much about him. I just know that I like the design of Cyborg Superman. I know it's like it's not Brainiac. I forget who the villain is that's actually him. But I like the Cyborg Superman design. I think it's really cool. When he was recruited into the Sinestro Corps, I think that version of him looks kick-ass too. So, the big reveal of him coming after them at the end with, like, that is just cool. But I'm really digging this last Justice League Last Ride. It's a really fun, again, an Elseworld story. I think Zdarsky does a really good job, with these what-ifs, if you will. And I think this is really fun. I think this is another book where I think, if Zdarsky was contacted by DC and be like, hey, Michael Bendis is not really doing a really good job with our Justice League. You want to read Justice League? I hope he does it, because I would love to read a main title Chip Zdarsky book. And if that's Justice League or Batman, sign me up, because he's doing a really good job. I know this was supposed to be, when the pandemic had hit, this was going to be a potential straight to digital only. And I think they did the first issue, and then I think they stopped after we, finally had a road forward. But overall, this is a really good book. I'm digging it. The artwork in it is fantastic. The story just it doesn't feel weighted down. It doesn't feel, there's a set course, and I don't think the same can be said with the current Justice League book, which me and Nate both have dropped off of until, I don't know when. I would assume when we get a new writer, which really sucks, because I want to pick up Justice League books, but I feel like this Justice League Last Ride feels more like a Justice League story than the current Justice League that's being written by Bendis. And me and Nate, we don't want to shit talk. We don't like, bad mouthing writers and artists, but this just feels like more of a genuine Justice League story than the current one that's being written. And so waiting for that to drop. But overall, issue 4, fantastic, and I don't want this little mini to end. I think it ends on issue 6, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 7. But overall, I liked it. All right, our last book of the night for myself until honorable mentions, and that is Silver Coin, issue 5. This, I'm doing it, guys, I'm sorry. This is also my pick of the week.
That's Chip's pick of the week.
I've got two pick of the weeks, and the second pick of the week is Silver Coin number 5. This was so good, so much fun. Michael Walsh writing and doing the artwork. This is an anthology book, but this is the origin of the original Silver Coin. Dude, so good. I think I actually will probably buy the trade, or if they have a hardcover version that comes out, I will buy it just to kind of read it cohesively. But this, dude, no way. Yep, definitely. I'm breaking all the rules. There's got to be 2 because Nate's not here, right? So there has to be 2 pick of the weeks. So let's just pretend this is Nate's pick of the week.
That's the guy.
Oops.
That's Nate's pick of the week.
There. Now it's more official, right? Yeah, it was really good. It was the origin of the coin. We get a little, this witch who's doing good in this village, and she's like healing people and stuff like that. But then she gets found out, and so she puts a curse on somebody's goat, and so when she ends up being killed, she curses the person that she healed the goat with, and the goat ends up turning into this like zombified demon that starts wreaking havoc at this person's house. I'm butchering this, but overall, it's the witch curses the coin, so that's where the curse starts, is on that coin, is with her, and so the coin just kind of drops into different people's hands, and so on and so forth. That's what we get in this anthology. So, this would have been a perfect conclusion for Silver Coin. I'm not saying I'm disappointed that it's going to continue another 4 or 5 issues. I think that's great. But if it hadn't been announced that there were going to be 4 or 5 more issues, this would have been a perfect conclusion. So they kind of Tarantino'd it. This probably could have been issue 1, but they give you the origin at the back end, which I think is great. So, reading this and then reading, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and just read all of them again, like in one sitting, and really get, whole perspective on it. I mean, I know that again they're individual stories, but overall this shit was good, man. It was a good book. Jaden, I'm very afraid of goats, so I'm definitely picking this up. The goat in this book, like when it transforms and gets all grody, again, oh shit moment. When it pops up, it's like, and it's got like 10 eyes and they're all fucking jacked up and it's like eating people. Check it out, Jaden. You're gonna like it. It's a good book, and again, I have to read this issue with all the lights on, because it is a little creepy. It does a good job of having that like unseen scary factor, which I really like. I think that kind of horror is better than just having being upfront and totally gruesome and just, like pop out scary. When your brain does the work for you and freaks you out, that to me is much more effective than just being overly scary, if you will. But yeah, I enjoyed it. And again, this was my other kind of pick of the week, and I really liked it. I thought it was fun. So if you're not reading Silver Coin and you're kind of into, horror, I would highly recommend picking this up. I know Nate didn't like the first issue, but every issue since he's been really fond of. So go check it out. I think it's a really good book. I'm glad we're getting more. We're getting a Vita Ayala. We're getting a Ram V. I don't remember who else we're getting, but we're getting some really, really good writers coming in, and I think Walsh is going to continue on the artwork. But overall, first 5 issues, fantastic. So pick it up if you're not. You need to go check it out. All right, off to honorable mentions, and this is where we'll talk about some of our free comic book day books as well. I only have one honorable mention, and that's Future State Gotham. A new guest artist on this one. I thought it was great. I follow the artist on Instagram. I recommend you do too. Again, I can't say their name, but look up the artist for Future State Gotham issue number 4. They have an awesome Instagram, and they do really awesome character designs for a lot of DC and Spider-Man characters, like all over DC, Marvel, but on point with the artwork in this one. The big reveal in this book is that we are getting a new Joker. A new Joker is coming to Gotham, and it's not our Joker. And Punchline reveals that at the end. But who doesn't want to see Harley Quinn and Punchline go at it again? And they do, and it's really good. It's a lot of fun. Very manga-esque. I love it, and it was a good time. So check that out. Let's go back to. I do want to talk about Avengers and Hulk. Free comic book day really quick. Again, if you had an opportunity to pick this up, I definitely think you should, and then put it in a Mylar because there's some stuff in here. We're going back to in Jason Aaron's. Hold on. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess it makes sense for seasoned DC readers, but when I read that, I was like, oh, cool. We're gonna get something new. So we'll see where it goes. It might not pan out, but who knows? Again, if you haven't read this, spoilers now. Jason Aaron is going back to the God Quarry, which was, I believe, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that was established in the Thanos Wins, or before Thanos Wins comic book, before Donny Cates wrote the latter half of it. So we're going back there, and there's an Avengers Tower that has been built right outside the God Quarry, which I think is really cool. And we have only one Avenger who is manning it, who has built himself a TVA, if you will, of Deathlocks. So we have a policing force that is built out of a cosmic version or versions of Deathlock who go to different realities to police them. And that's all I'm going to give away on that book. You need to go read it. It feels like classic Jason Aaron is coming back to the Avengers run, and he is going apeshit in this one. Let's see, what am I saying? Mike Tinian kills Joker at the end of his run. Gordon becomes new Joker. Ooh. Well, that would be weird. We'll have to wait and see. That would be intense, wouldn't it? Oh, wow. I'll have to sit and chew on that one for a little bit. That's an interesting theory right there. That would be something. Mike, you know what? I love this community. I love the fact that we can just make up these things and see what, throw as much as we can to the wall and see what sticks. And hopefully, that'd be intense. That would be really cool. So yeah, pick up, if you still have access to that, go pick it up. I don't know what the rules are with Free Comic Book Day, like after Saturday, if you can still pick them up or if you have to buy them. I don't know how that works. And then Donny Cates does it again with the Hulk run. I think we are going to do something really fun with Hulk. I just hope he doesn't pull a Venom and like go really high really quick and then kind of flatline, and expectation is so high that it kind of ruins it. That's how I kind of feel about his Venom run. And that sucks. I don't want to say that because I really, really like Donny Cates is one of my favorite writers. And so I hope this Hulk run doesn't do that. I hope it just continues to go up and wow us to the point where we're like, holy shit, that was a fun ride. Yeah, Spider-Man Venom, great. Ben Reilly, I cannot wait for him to be Spider-Man. The Venom thing, again, we're going to space. Eddie Brock isn't going to make it. We know that, or at least that's kind of how it's perceived. So be interested to see that. Yeah, it'll be cool. All my other ones, Batman, obviously we're getting that Fear State introduction. I think it's going to be great. I'm, again, super sad that he's leaving, but I'm also glad that Tinian's going to go do what he wants. I think that's important. And the fact that he can make bank and do what he loves is great. So also, you don't want to see a writer get bogged down with a story that they feel like they're genuinely done with, and they just keep on doing it for the sake of the paycheck. Like they want to write what they want to do, right? Quiku, any thoughts on Moon Knight costume leak? I like the mummy. It'll help him look drastic. It'll help him look distinct. Couldn't grab Free Comic Book Day issues. My money is on Loki as Avenger Prime to tie in Aaron's first arc. Interesting. I do like that. I think I mentioned that to Nate at work because I do remember also Loki in the Infinity Wars. He stays there if I'm not mistaken, or he wants to like be involved with the God Quarry and like write stories. I remember that vaguely. I do like the Moon Knight costume that leaked. I cannot wait to see that. I think something else leaked I think today, where they show the costume in action. Like there's somebody filming whoever's in the suit like running and like jumping in the air and like landing all dramatically. So there's some more of that suit stuff out there. It's far away, but you can see someone like in action in the suit. So I dig it. I am super on the Moon Knight stuff. Actually, we get a Moon Knight issue this week, so I'm looking forward to that. And Jaden says, I hope it's legit because it looks great. I think it is. I think it definitely is. I think we are Disney Plus. What Feige's doing over there on Disney Plus has been fantastic, and I need more. I need more content, and it's clearly what they're trying to do. And I cannot wait for more things to come out. And I think Phase 4 is just going to be so fucking fun. Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm excited for it. All right, guys. Well, I've been on for an hour. I'm about to go hoarse. I didn't bring water up. I'm sorry again that this was such a kind of like a Two Fat Guys Pull List episode light. But, I don't want to... I'm the only guy talking. But I am super glad that all of y'all are here. I love this community. I love what we're building. Hey, I don't know if y'all saw, but man, our Free Comic Book Day video did really well for us. It's one of our top videos. I think it's close to 600 views, or it's maybe it's 550 views. Either way, it's doing really well, and it got us some new subscribers. I mean, last time we saw each other, I think we were at 365 or 364. I can't remember, but we are already at 380. Let's check. It's right here. I will double check right now. Y'all can see it right now, but we're at 388 subscribers. That's insane, guys. Like we got a lot. We basically got 30 subscribers in about 48 hours. That is fantastic. I love that growth. I love hanging out with you guys and talking to you guys, talking about comics. I know Nate does too. This has been really fun, and we are that much closer to 500. and giving away this bad boy. Because I want to give it away, guys. I know Nate keeps on getting mad at me that I want to give this away. I'm giving it away because I'm that crazy. We're so close to 500. So if you know anybody that's looking for a new comic book YouTube channel to watch, send them our way. You know, tell them to hit that subscribe button because we're so close to giving this away. I mean, dude, I started the show and we were sitting at 385 and we got 3 more subscribers. It's insane. Like we have not seen that kind of growth on this channel before. But thanks everybody for that. Thank you, Jim. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm reading the chat at the same time. But yeah, I super excited. I know Nate's going to be excited about that. And yeah, you know, we got to do some solicitations videos. We'll take care of that. And then always Wednesday we'll have our comic book haul video for the week of 15, 16, 17, 18th. August 18th. So thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for just listening to me ramble. I love it. It's so much fun. But as always, guys, make sure read more comics. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. Peace.